You know, in 1986, the Maritime and Seafood Museum was established here in Biloxi at Point Cadet. Well, unfortunately, Hurricane Katrina took care of that. So they rebuilt it, brand new, improved, and it reopened in August 2014. Inside, chock full of all kinds of history of the Mississippi Gulf Coast and the seafood industry. So let's go inside, take a tour, and show you what you need to come and see. Robin Cron-David is the executive director here.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
This place is absolutely beautiful.
Thank
As
you.
I mentioned in the beginning, it was, actually established in '86. Katrina destroyed it in '05, and then you built it back last year in 2014, and chock full of history.
Yes, and one of our showpieces, the Nydia, she's a 100-year-old sloop. She was actually built on Back Bay by William Johnson, and she was owned by Baldwin Woods. And she's just a beautiful restored piece here in the museum.
Now, one of the beautiful views of this, if you're ever coming westbound across the Biloxi Ocean Springs Bridge at night, got to look over this way. Please watch out the traffic though, and see it lit up in here. It's an absolutely beautiful sight.
Daria Pizzetta, our architect, did an outstanding job designing her idea of ship in a bottle. And with the blue lights backlit on the Nydia at night, it looks like she's sailing in the water.
Wow. Absolutely beautiful. That's one of the great things about the museum is you're showing so many different things about the history here along the Mississippi Gulf Coast of the maritime years. You know, the sailing, the people that love the schooners and everything. And very importantly is the seafood industry.
Right, and we have exhibits on oystering, shrimping, and crabbing.
All right, well, let's go take a look at those here at the Maritime Museum and Seafood Industry Museum in Biloxi. You know, another great thing about coming in here is all the things that you can find out about offshore, the barrier islands that we have here.
Yes. We have one exhibit on the TEDs, the turtle excluder devices, and that is very interesting to demonstrate to the people how the net was invented so that the
turtles can get out
safely. And then, of course, we have our barrier islands. We have Cat Island, Ship Island, Horn Island, and Petty Boy Island, and we touch on what's special about each one of those islands also.
Yeah, one of the things that is special about all those islands and being down here is the sports fishing.
Yes, the charter boat fishing. We have a great display on charter boat fishing and recreational fishing, which is very popular here on the Gulf Coast. Yeah, of course, you need to charter your fishing boat and go out and see what you can catch.
Oh, and there's a lot. I mean, look at the size of that redfish. That is a big redfish. And besides that, I mean, all the other different species that are available here. But one of the other big industries down here, Robin, is, of course, the shrimping industry, oystering industry.
Yes, and of course, the schooner, the workhorse of the industry back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, is what harvested our seafood here on the Gulf Coast. And that was when we were known as the seafood capital of the world.
Yes, definitely. And you can come in here to the museum and see so many pieces of that history. And I mean, like this giant steam kettle that you see here that they used to steam the oysters.
Yes.
And then you have an actual wheelhouse of the Kovacevic.
Yes, that was a boat builder back in the day that built so many of the wooden boats here on the Gulf Coast. And that's an actual Kovacevic wheelhouse.
Wow. Very nice. Well, talking about different boats, we're going to take you back downstairs and show you some of the other boats that they have here on display at the museum at the Maritime and Seafood Industry Museum, Point Cadet in Biloxi. Now, Ashley Davis is the Outreach Program Coordinator. How are you?
I'm good.
Tell us a little bit about some of the boat collection that you have here.
Okay, we have some model boats here. If you look down, you'll see the Mark Boy. The Mark Boy was actually found after Katrina washed up on Deer Island. Somebody stumbled upon the hull of it, contacted us and brought it back in, and it was restored and is now put back in display here. Next to the Mark Boy, we have the Curtis Fountain, which is a model of a schooner.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just a really detailed model, and the first recorded schooner races happened to be in 1888.
A lot of different types of boats that you do have here. You know, this is really nice. A little sports craft.
This is a 1960 sport craft runabout. It has a 1959 Mercury engine.
Wow.
Yeah. Real neat little boat there. Right beyond it, we do have the Biloxi pulling skiff. It was in the early 19th century. It was used as a little working boat and often for shallow water fishing up the river type deal.
Right, right. Little sailboat.
This is the catboat. Is the Seabat. Was built in 1933 and is made with mainly cypress wood. This boat here was used for racing. It was a racing type of sailboat.
Now we get over here, we show you some more of the different things that you do have on display, give you a little bit more detail about the catboat, the schooners, and
Different types of boats that we do have, yeah.
right. What is this monstrosity?
This here is a 1979 shrimp peeling machine.
Really?
This machine could peel 1,000 pounds of shrimp in just 1 hour. That was about equivalent to about 150 people who used to hand peel shrimp. Put those people on the streets without a job.
I need one of those in my backyard whenever we have shrimp boils.
Right, right.
And you find a lot of different pieces of equipment here. You know, the old boats. Here's a shrimp trawler.
This is a shrimp trawler.
Model of a shrimp trawler.
Right.
And we move into this room, more historic boats of Biloxi.
Yeah, you're going to catch a bunch of different boats that we have in here from oyster sloops to luggers to different steamboats and schooners, shrimp trawlers. These are all just old wooden boats of Biloxi that we have to offer to show you. Beyond these boats, we do have some tools that came from the Higginbotham shipyard, built in 1943.
These are tools that were actually used to build the wooden boats.
Oh yes, sir, absolutely. They were used to build all the different type of wooden boats, especially ones that you see throughout our museum.
And the crafting that goes on behind them is absolutely amazing. It really, really is. You know, seeing so much of this and having lived here, and I'm ashamed to say this is my first time in here, and it is just phenomenal, the different things that you do have available for people to come in and find out a little bit of history of the Mississippi Gulf Coast and the boating industry here. It's absolutely amazing. There's so much that went into it. And so many people still to this day, their livelihood depends on the seafood industry here along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's amazing, and there's a lot that we did not even have time to show you here. So you really need to take time on the weekend, come over and just spend an hour or two just going through it. And I know you even have some films that people can see that show what goes on.
We do.
All right, tell us if you would the hours that you're open here.
We're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4:30, and Sunday, noon to 4.
Okay. Bring the whole family. If you've lived here all your life and you want to find out a little bit more about the seafood industry, the maritime industry of the Mississippi Gulf Coast and all the things in the area that are absolutely amazing, you need to make a point to come see the Maritime and Seafood Industry Museum at Point Cadet.